This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.
As soccer takes center stage this summer, Comcast helps bring the experience home to America. As the exclusive Spanish-language home of the tournament in the U.S., Telemundo is set to present its most expansive coverage ever. 700 hours of programming, live on-site presence at all 104 matches. And with multi-view and real-time 4K, Xfinity will deliver the most innovative and immersive sports viewing experience for fans watching on Telemundo, Peacock, Fox, and FS1. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com.
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a weight loss hypnosis session that was created for a male client that had already lost a lot of weight. They had more weight that they wanted to lose before a milestone birthday that was coming up for them. And what they found is that they could really build momentum when they were in their normal everyday life, their normal ritual, their routine, getting up, going to work, having their workouts. That was fine. But if something changed for them, a big get-together, travel, a celebration, a special occasion, then the best laid plans of mice and men, as they say, it all fell to pieces and they couldn't maintain it. So what this is about is the concept of making improvements even under more challenging circumstances. And it actually uses a metaphor that the client gave me themselves. They had this wonderful experience of feeling really, really good about having the first cycle ride, a long cycle ride they'd had in a while. And very early on in that cycle ride, they encountered a headwind, which makes something challenging even more challenging, and yet it didn't deter them. That is an excellent metaphor for the kind of thing that is, let's say, a more challenging environment. It's easier to make good choices if you're not on holiday than if you're on holiday. There's more temptations, more distractions, different routines, different rationales going on. So there is that element there. And it uses this idea of good days and golden days. Now, golden days is their phrase that they used for a very high standard across multiple different areas. So the amount of exercise, the quality of the food, the amount of protein, the amount of carbs, whereas a good day is quite simple. Under 2,000 calories, but over 100 grams of protein. That's very manageable on any day. And what's great is that you don't have to be perfect in order to have just under 2,000 calories and just over 100 grams. It just has to be a good day. And the more good days they do, the more likely they are to have these golden days. So we could say a good day is progress, whereas a golden day is kind of like leaping forward. And what happens is the golden days make the good days easier, and the good days make the golden days easier because you've got the momentum. What also happened in a couple of areas of their life, particularly golf and in their workplace, if something bad happened, they had a bad shot in golf, they would write that off. They would contain it so it didn't affect future holes, but they wouldn't do that when it came to food. Generally, if they had a bad day, they would criticize themselves, feel guilty, feel ashamed, but that would reduce the probability that the next day would be a good day. So therefore, the shame and the guilt wasn't helping, and that's why fat shaming doesn't work. Actually, what does work is to accept it, acknowledge it, learn from it if you can, but then quickly move on to exactly what you do want, which in this client's case was a good day being under 2,000 calories and over 100 grams of protein. Now, these calories made sense for this particular individual. They guessed that it was about 3,000 calories to maintain their body weight. Therefore, 2,000 calories would be a deficit. If, however, you are, let's say, 100 pounds or let's say just under, 50 kilos, then it's highly unlikely that 2,000 calories is going to be the right target for you. You might be in a calorie surplus at 2,000 calories, and it might need to be closer to 1,000 for you. This client was in a different situation. So adjust the calories or protein intake to reflect what is going to be a good day or a golden day for you. Don't assume that the client I was working with, what's good for them is automatically going to be right for you. Humans are different. We've got different genetics, frames, ages, metabolisms. You focus on what's right for you. Now, with that said, there's going to be the essence of this is having more good days and building momentum and being discerning with choices. So if these things resonate with you and you like the idea of losing weight and actually doing it in a empowered way, a strong way, a positive way, rather than a shameful or restrictive way, you're going to get some value from this session. It was created for an individual though. So therefore, if you like the idea of a bespoke session just for you, click the first link that you see in the show notes, and that will show you how to work with me directly, personally, rather than listening to the recordings that I do for other people. Now, that said, you might get some value from this session. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you're not going to be distracted or disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a feeling of pure resourcefulness. And as you exhale, make the outward breath your release valve, releasing any tension, any stress, any worries, any feelings of pressure. Just allow it to leave your body. And when you breathe in deeper than you normally would. Not because you have to, simply because you're choosing to. And when you exhale, allow the outward breath to carry on for longer. Releasing any emotional echoes that are just holding you back. That's it. Nothing to force and nothing to fight. And I want you to get a sense that you wouldn't want to become someone completely different overnight. That's the appeal for some people. That they just wake up tomorrow someone else. But that would deprive them of the very skills, abilities, choices, and changes that makes change last. At some level, you already know that real change doesn't usually happen as one dramatic moment. It happens like nature happens, incremental, evolutionary, like erosion and the growth of a great tree. It happens through repetition, through evidence, through that quiet accumulation of better choices, through the kind of days that may not look spectacular from the outside, But inside, something important is happening. A new standard is forming. A new version of you is being built from the inside out, one good day at a time. And perhaps, just for now, you can allow yourself to become comfortably relaxed and settled, eyelids feeling heavy, and just allow your attention to move inwards and not to escape the world, but to reconnect with that part of you that already knows how to commit to something worthwhile. The part of you that tracks, the part of you that notices, that part of you that can make a plan, follow through, and feel quietly proud when you do. Because this adaptation, evolution, this change is not about punishment or deprivation. It doesn't chain you to becoming obsessive. It's about a wonderful update to an identity. It's about becoming the version of you who does what they say they're going to do. To raise their standards, to hold themselves to a different way of living, not perfectly and not rigidly, but consistently. Because like so many other areas of life, the real superpower is consistency. And so as you breathe in and breathe out, connect to the body's own intelligence. Because the body responds to rhythm, to repetition, to signals and patterns. And what if every good day sends a signal? Every protein-focused meal is like a vote, and every walk sends a message. And every time you drink fizzy water, instead of something more calorific, it sends that signal. When you make a better choice, and not necessarily a perfect choice, you also send that signal. And that signal is simple. This is who I am becoming. The 2.0 version. Not the version who waits for perfect conditions. And not the version who needs the week to be easy. Or that version of you that says, I'll start this again when travel is over, when that occasion is over, when the routine is back and when everything is convenient. That was the old version of you. This 2.0 version is built for real life, where there will be restaurants and airports and hotels and celebrations and travel and temptations and special occasions. Ordinary days, social days, disrupted days, the days you can't plan for. Because the goal is not to create a fragile routine that only works when life is perfect and everything goes to plan. But what if the goal is to become the kind of person who can maintain standards even when things are different or difficult, challenging or unpredictable? And what if that version of you could do that calmly, flexibly, intelligently? And so, as you continue to relax, I wonder if your mind can drift to a memory, a clear memory of a particular morning where you wanted to do something and you did it. I want you to think of that moment of a decision. Not to be aware of your bike, but to use the bike, to cycle the bike. I want you to think of that moment when you made the decision. And maybe the decision then created a new decision. What clothes do I wear? And then where do I move to? And just think of that chain reaction that all started with one decision that then led to you cycling through the Cotswolds, blue skies above you, open space around you, the rhythm of the bike, the breeze. I want you to connect with it all. Maybe there were sounds, the wind in your ears, traffic around you, a feeling of air moving past you. And I want you to jump into different moments. Scenic villages, open landscapes, rolling hills. And then think of that headwind. You weren't expecting it. You didn't even want it. But it appeared and you felt it. Your body feels it. It makes something challenging slightly more challenging. And so the legs notice it, the lungs notice it. And yet, that thing within you that persisted anyway, some would call that determination, commitment, resilience. Some would call that a relentless spirit, undeterred. For some, that would have been a reason to stop and turn around. But you persisted, and not with drama or complaint. You just took your intention and aligned it with action. No need to resent the wind, get frustrated with the wind. If anything, the wind was a gift. Because by doing something challenging, it made neutral wind or a tailwind even easier. And what if possible travels in your future are like a headwind? It doesn't change your intention or your strategy. It just makes it more challenging. But isn't the benefit of that when you return to normal life, won't it feel like a tailwind? And if you can connect with that idea, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Life will create headwinds. The travel, the restaurants, the social moments where there's alcohol or celebrations or unexpected plans or tiredness. But none of these things need to stop momentum. They're just headwinds. And the 2.0 version of you knows what to do with a headwind. Not collapse, not give up, not dramatize. Just work a bit harder. Deal with the headwind. Adjust if necessary. Make the best choices you can within that dynamic. And then keep moving forward. And maybe your unconscious mind can begin to connect that cycling moment of blue skies and open roads, of headwinds and intentions becoming action, with the very choices that you are making now. Because each good day is like another mile covered. Not always glamorous and not always easy. And some miles are harder than other miles. In the same way that it's harder to cycle up a hill than it is to cycle down a hill, even if the distance is the same. It doesn't have to be easy, but it can be meaningful. Perhaps you can begin to feel that now. The quiet satisfaction of a good day. A day where you have at least 100 grams of protein. And a day where the calories hit that perfect zone. Below 2,000 but above 1,700. And that's all it takes for it to be a good day. And if the steps are there, or the food is fresh, that just enhances what is already a good day. And if you can have more good days, don't be surprised if you have more golden days. The standards are higher, and it requires more effort, perhaps even a little sacrifice. But what you get back is faster progress, and you get more pride, satisfaction. And I want you to think of those days. 150 grams of protein, low carbs. You still have that 2,000 calories, but no alcohol, and maybe a workout or more walking. A day that feels clean, strong, disciplined. A day that creates a surge of progress. But here's the thing about golden days. Golden days make good days easier. You don't need every day to be a golden day. If you can have 2 or 3 days in a row where they're golden, think of it as a wonderful gift. It's a bonus, not an expectation. Because if you make Golden Day your minimum standard, then what's desirable becomes a trap. Golden days are a bonus. Good days are the foundation. And the foundation matters more than the bonus. I want you to get a sense that a good day gives you the power to be discerning. You can want that 2,000 calories to come from fresh foods, organic vegetables, or lean proteins. It just doesn't have to. It could come from the occasional glass of wine. It can come from the occasional snack. It's still a good day if you've had under 2,000 calories and had more than 100 grams of protein. It's a good day that matters. And that doesn't make it second best. Because a good day is evidence that you are becoming the person you desire to be. It's evidence you can make travel and still make progress. That you can enjoy life and still move towards the body you want. What if the good days are the evidence that food can be fresh, satisfying, protein-focused, and enjoyable? That tracking is not pressure. It's the ability to know when you've had a good day. Most people fail because they refuse to look clearly. So they guess. They hide. They pretend. And they delude themselves, not maliciously. But you track, which means you know. Some people believe that you can't manage what you don't measure. And because you measure, you can manage. You can manage to have more good days. And even find you have more golden days. And not because you have to have the golden days. But every now and then, just like that bike ride, you'll feel inspired to have a golden day. And when you don't have a good day, that's not a reason to be hard on yourself. Consider it like a round of golf where you've had one bad hole. Or an argument where what was said was said. Or a contract you thought you would win is lost. It is what it is, you accept it. And then you move on. You move on to what you want, not dwelling and lingering on what you don't. And so if your unconscious mind is willing to take that standard you meet in so many other areas of your life and then apply it to you on those occasional bad days. So the bad days are temporary, just blips, stepping stones to better days. Let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And so there's a winning formula. Days don't have to be perfect. Golden days are a bonus. Good days are always within reach, but requires discernment. And a not so good day, you can learn from it. You can acknowledge it. It just doesn't give you permission to break momentum. No reason for criticism, shame, or blame. You learn from it, you move on, and the priority is to make today a good day. As you hold on to those thoughts, just imagine cycling under blue skies in that flow state, where it doesn't even feel like exercise, it just feels like freedom. And start imagining your future. A future where you're slimmer and leaner and more confident. See yourself brimming with pride. But most of all, see that it was the good days and not the golden days. That is what got you to that future that you desire. And if your unconscious is willing to be an ally, to assist you in providing the resources, the emotions, the thought processes, and the ideas to have more good days, let me know by nodding your head. And so it's time to return. Just imagine returning back to your house. And as you park the bike and go inside, I want you to imagine that you are on a chair in a lounge. And I want you to step into the present version of you. Start to reconnect and recalibrate. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. And you will awaken feeling resourceful, confident, excited. That kind of excitement you had right before that cycle ride. But this time, it's to make choices and be discerning. To make today a good day and tomorrow a good day. And anything better is just a bonus. And as you hold that thought, it's time to return, starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.